The first thing that I find is not said about leadership enough is that leadership is a personal journey. Now, if you want to get into philosophy, well, if you're talking about a leader, most of us mean by talking about a leader, we assume the pre-existence of followers. And that therefore begs the question, well, to what extent do we need others to be ourselves? In other words, how much do I need the people around me to define who I am? And secondly, to what extent am I just a representation of this society? And that really speaks to a debate between atomism and holism. And that's a philosophical debate. And people still arguing about that. I don't think it's been resolved to everybody's satisfaction, and I don't know if it ever will. But I think that whatever the answer to that debate is, we have not said to anybody enough that in order to lead other people, we're graduating people with a lot of qualifications. We send you on all sorts of things. You hear the introductions, and they talk about all where you have been and so on. How many of our leaders who we put in charge of other people know how to lead themselves? And so, in a sense, I do not feel very qualified to speak to you about leadership. Because for me, leadership is a very intensely personal journey, and I'm still finding my way. And all I can do is find my way. And for a brief moment in time, your journey will intersect with mine. And the most that I can or should do in treating with you is have all of my actions based out of love. Because I am not privy to God's grand design. I have not yet deconstructed the DNA of the universe. I haven't decoded it. But I know one thing for sure. I know one thing for sure. The more I meditate or pray or think about it, the more I see that this notion of yin and yang isn't true. And that, in fact, light is far more powerful than darkness. And that good is far more powerful than evil. And that even when bad things happen to you, there is a reason for that. And it is not your fault. Yes, much of what happens to us is a result of a karmic episode or a karmic event. And if you keep doing wrong or stupid things, then bad consequences will probably come out of that. And the reason for that is there's a very clear relationship between a karmic event, that is an action, the memory that that action generates, and the desire that that memory can generate, which then loops back into action again. For example, I drink a cup of coffee, I find it tastes good, I remember it tastes good, I therefore have a desire for another cup of coffee sometime in the future. And that is the kind of cycle or circle that we talk about. But I think a leader's first challenge in the 21st or the 22nd or the 23rd century is the same as in the 19th or the 10th, and that is how do we lead ourselves? How do we conquer the things that we have inside of us? Make sense of those things to understand what our purpose is. And this is why I'm coming to a different view